My name's Scott Acord. I'm 60 years old. I'm in Los Angeles.
Hi, my name is Kimberly Malinowski. I am from Lubbock, Texas, and I'm 31 years old.
I first learned about you because you won a nursing award. Am I correct? Was it the Nursing Hero of Our Time award?
It was. I was the recipient of Providence's Nursing Hero of Our Time for 2021 in the support services category. I graduated from the Texas Tech School of Nursing and was a pediatric ICU nurse for about 4 years. I was a clinical nurse leader for about 3 years, and now I've worked in quality for the past 3 years.
When you saw COVID in front of you and you knew that you were going to be in it at some point, what was that like and how did you prepare?
So it was very surreal. I worked in quality for the last 3 years. I came back to our facility in August of 2018, and you start to hear about COVID, but being in kind of the middle of the United States, everything hits here a little bit later. We don't have the population of the coast. We aren't a massive metropolitan area. You hear about it and you know it's coming. And we started to feel things like the supply shortages without having COVID. So the reality of COVID was supply shortages, not patients with COVID at first. It really hit support services or our clinical excellence department. We're not going to have PPE. We're not going to have masks. We're not going to have face shields. We're not going to have these supplies if COVID hits or when COVID hits, because I think this is at the point that nobody could get masks or face shields because the production had not ramped up to meet demand yet. Doing what our department does, we supported. We went to Walmart and Joann's and bought elastic and bought fabric and developed patterns for face masks and face shields and really just got to work to make sure that, as homegrown as it might have felt, that we had some sort of protection if it came to that point and that we weren't scrambling on the back end to make sure that that occurred.
I would think that that must have felt pretty scary.
I think the biggest fear from our standpoint is how to continue to protect our patients if we can't adequately supply that PPE. Being an ICU nurse, it's fairly standard in healthcare to round on a patient every hour. So you might be using 12 masks in a shift for one patient, but in an ICU, that may be double or triple. It's not out of the realm of possibility where you could use 40 or 50 masks for a patient in a 12-hour period. We took one of our largest conference rooms at the hospital and turned it into an assembly line. I remember myself just saying, like, it is 2020. How is this happening?
Right. That's what I kept thinking as you're telling me this.
We sat down and we went to work. We kind of co-managed making sure that face shields that we were producing worked. And then going from needing 500 face shields to 5,000. Our boss had promised 500 face shields within 7 days, and we were able to produce them in 2. And then running into elastic shortages. You couldn't order elastic. And I'm a fairly crafty person. And so I remember saying, let's just go look and see what I've got at home. I found a basket of headband type elastic that you use for like little girls' headbands. And I had bought way too much that I would ever use. And so literally taking that basket of elastic that is neon green and hot pink and leopard print, at least we can make prototypes. And if the elastic's not tight enough, like, this buys us just enough time to find elastic. Every so often throughout COVID, we would see one of those bright colored pieces of elastic on somebody's head, and it kind of was a sign that we had done something really good.